What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Fortnite replay review. Today we are featuring some gameplay from Pleasant Park, so let's hop right into it. So starting off, we've got the new glider equipped. It's quite loud, but that's not a problem. We're going for this back house. It does feature a basement as well as a top floor and a bottom floor, so that is something to keep in mind. So through this window right about here, I see that there's a blue pump, so I decided to go for that rather than a regular gun. So we're just going to bust through this roof, and grab the pump. So we do have somebody who is near us, but we don't know where they are quite yet. I thought they might be going under us and trying to go for the chest. Going for the floor loot inside. So we go for the chest. We're just looking to deny them any loot. We go inside of the house. We're hearing some gunshots around us. If you look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That looks to be about 15 people in Pleasant, so there is a lot of activity here. As we continue to hear them, we realize that they're in the ground. So that's something we have to play around. There are a lot of people around us. Unfortunately, we only have an SMG and a shotgun, so there's not too much that we can do there. So moving up here, we are just quickly boxing them in. This denies them from escaping, which gives us some time to focus on other enemies. So what we're going to do is just quickly aim in on this guy. We hear some shots behind. We hear a door open behind us. We're trying to figure out what that's about. We look down at this guy, try and edit peek him, but unfortunately that does not work out. We're hearing more things break. We're trying to figure out what's going on. We drop into the house. We think he's maybe under, and he actually drops down onto us as we peek this. So he drops down in towards us. We jump. He blocks it off, playing some nice defensive plays. We move up and over, and he comes out, down, and around, so we get ready for him. There he is. Finish him off. Beautiful shots. Let me just make sure that damage numbers are enabled. Looks like they are. For some reason that one didn't appear. That's alright. Alrighty, moving on into the second fight. We're going for a quick heal and we notice somebody's behind us. They hit us for about 27 damage. We hit them for 124. Finish them off with the SMG. So we got very fortunate there. We did not play that well. Our awareness was low. But fortunately we had some shields, so we didn't take too much pressure. There's another guy pushing up on us. This one's trying to creep in, and we hit him with a nice shotgun. So far we've racked up an amazing 2 kills in Pleasant Park, so we're going to move into our next fight. So there hasn't been too much building. It's been mostly using the terrain to our advantage. So we're moving into a bit of a dead space here, and then we see this guy who was recently in a team fight, so we're moving up to follow up on him. We hit him with a nice 46 damage headshot, and then he goes to cover himself. We do have some impulse grenades, but we don't have really anything that can break at long range, so what we're going to do is we're going to push up on him. So we're going to go up and over. Impulse. That's going to catch him off guard. We do miss our shots, so what we're going to do is we're just going to push up on him. We're going to block our sides because he could flank around. And once he turtles into this spot here, we're going to start playing around the dynamics. So it's very difficult to see him when he's under here, so we do not see him creep into that door. That's something that we have to reason out. So what we're doing here is we're denying him any opportunity to get the high ground by edit peeking through these floors. So we're trying to figure out where he is. Clearly he's not in the box, right? So we don't have to worry about that. And right about here, we realize that he's inside of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the right opportunity. We're going to edit it, and we're going to finish him up. So he goes to look outside. He's going to make a door. We hit him for 95. He goes up and around. We finish him off with a burst. So this upgrades our gear immensely. We get a scar. We get a sniper rifle. Very good weapons for the end game. So that puts us in a good position. Now this replay is going to be on the long side just because some of the dynamics that we use are not centered around kills, so that does make the replay longer. So moving into this next little space here, we're just quickly grabbing some materials when we get shot at by a sniper rifle, so we're trying to figure out where he is. But we don't want to focus our attention too much on this one guy. As you can see, there is one guy in the middle of Pleasant, as well as one to the north of Pleasant, and one on top of the hill, so there are clearly more than one angles to be looking at, so we want to stay moving, we want to stay alert. So this blue guy is moving up towards us, the green one is looking to pass us. So what we're going to do is hopefully spot this blue guy and finish him off. So here we're just holding out our sniper rifle, hoping to get a quick cheeky shot. This guy runs, we trace his head, and beautiful shot straight into his head with the sniper rifle. Alright, we're going to harvest some more wood, and then we'll get ready for our next kill. So there's one person to the south of Pleasant, that's purple, and then blue is up to the north. So we have to be aware of both of them if we want to survive here. There's just a little bit of interim while we're looting, but nothing too big because this next person will push up on us very quickly. So as you can see, they're running straight through. They're very close to us. What's going to happen is we're going to see the shield notifier. We're not going to hear them. They hit us for 14. We're going to immediately wall, move up. We're going to try and hit the quick scope. We're going to hit him for 35. Then we're going to go defensive. He hits us for 19. What we're going to do is we're going to keep walling off our sides. We want that high ground. He's going to back up a little bit to get the shot. We're going to whip. We're going to hit him for 52. He's going to switch to AR. We're going to switch to AR because we have considerably more cover than he has, and we have a better assault rifle. And we finish him off with the 69 damage headshot through the shield, and then just finish him off with the 30. Since his shield was extremely low, since we did about 35, 24, and a little bit more, so he had less than 30 shields when we hit him for 69, bringing his health down quite a bit. Especially because in this early game, having 200 shield is quite unlikely. We did get lucky, so I think we had it at one point, but these high volume fights, that's 5 kills already, does limit our potential to stay at 200 shield. Now, moving into this next section of replay, if we look, the circle is quite far away from us, and we're quite late. The circle will be moving in right about now. So what we're going to have to do is use some creative strategies. So we do see a llama right about here. So what we're going to do is we're going to push towards that llama. We want to be careful of our north. Oh dear. Sorry about that. We want to be careful with our north because all this area up here could definitely have somebody rotating in from the top of junk because the plane flew like this. So we don't want to get hit by anybody coming from there. So we're just going to wall up, loot this llama. Now the llama's going to have two extremely important things. First off, it's going to have a slurp. And second off, it's going to have both kinds of shield. So the 2 kinds of shield will let us go to 200-200, which is extremely important for the end game, since by the time that we get to the next fight, it's basically going to be the end game, and the slurp allows us to sustain for longer. Even though we have the medkit, the slurp allows us to drink these potions way out of circle, so that we don't have to walk into circle with like 42 health. So moving in here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our 500 metal that we don't really need, since we're more partial to brick for endgame 1x1s. And we're just going to use that to get inside of circles. So we're going to keep building, and the second we get inside a circle, we're just going to tower up real quick, get our med kit off, and we're up to about 150 health. Moving into this next fight, this is my personal favorite fight of the entire match. This should be interesting. I was hearing somebody looting, but I couldn't quite figure out where they were. It looks like he was right about here. I was hearing like the opening of different things, so I wasn't sure what was going on, but we're going to move right in. So there we go. I guess he looted an airdrop, but the sounded like it came from inside of here, but I guess he was all the way down to the south. But that's nothing to worry about. I didn't want to peek into the crater too deep because that's not really our focus. Our focus was getting inside a circle, as the circle will be moving in very soon. I hit the same button again. My apologies. There we go. Alright, so we are taking some pressure from the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to be careful. This guy's pushing up on us, so we're going to go quickly up and over. We're going to wall off our side. We're going to put a floor, a ramp, and another wall. This is going to give us the high ground. As he peeks out from under, we're going to hit him for 86. And we're going to start pressuring with the AR. The AR is going to go straight through the walls, finish him off. What we're going to do is we're just going to put a wall under us, so that way we don't fall to our deaths. And we're going to get ready for our next fight. So we can hear the next person coming in. They do have the moon rock, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and identify where they're from. We're going to box up real quick. The reason why we're boxing is because we do not want to fight somebody in this rough terrain outside of the circle when they have this enhanced mobility. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and wait out their moon rock before we engage. Unfortunately, what ends up happening, as you can see, I didn't see him drop right there, but he goes to drop and go back into the pit, it sounds like, to grab another moon rock before he engages. So our strategy was a little bit passive here, but it's important to understand which fights give you an advantage and which won't. And really, no matter how high you build, you're at a disadvantage against moon rocks, so it's something you have to be very careful with. And I don't trust my aim against moon rocks, so I definitely just box up and wait for it to finish. So as he comes under us, we're going to edit and come out. And as he sits here, we're going to drop out. He's trying to set up for us. We hit him for 33. He's going to duck under our ramp. We're going to pull out our pump, hit him in the legs, finish him off. Now the circle is moving in. It's going to put quite a bit of pressure on us, but we do want that golden sniper rifle, and we do want those minis. So we're just going to pick those up very quickly. And the circle isn't too far, so we're not going to use our jump pad quite yet. The longer you wait to use a jump pad, the more impact it generally has. In this replay, it isn't really an impactful resource just because we were taking so much pressure from the enemy teams, but that's nothing to worry about. We're just going to heal up real quick, and we're going to move in towards circle. So as we move in towards circle, there's 9 people left. What we're going to do is we're going to build a 1x1, and we're going to assess the situation. So this guy on the outside here is going to become a very important part of the replay because he is going to be our main focus for the entire rest of the replay. So we're just going to basically trade shots with him, try and bait him, trying to figure out where other people are, because we are inside of circle and we're comfortably inside of the next circle. So we have no reason to exit circle quite yet. We are taking shots that look like they're lined up, but they're not quite hitting. That's fine. It was probably just 200 meters. I need to aim a little bit higher. But there's no reason for us to overextend here when there's so few people left. There's no reason to give up the win unnecessarily. So we're just going to hold here. I'm going to wait and figure out what our next play is going to be. So he's going to take some crossfire from this side over here. Looks like to the east. And that's going to give us our opportunity to move up. So as he builds up here, he's going to open up some new angles. And he's going to be able to target one enemy at a time, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. So here we're playing a little bit passive for all this replay. Notice how there's no kills, but we want to secure that win. You know, we don't want to throw it away for no reason. We're working on our win rate, we're working on winning fights, and we don't want to get caught in the open against strong guns. There's one guy under. We're going to try and fire some shots at him. Unfortunately, that looks like it was perfect. I guess it just threaded through his knees. And all that loot comes down. Our hope is that he will peek the loot, so we go to jump preemptively, but it looks like he's on top, which is unfortunate. He hits us for a little bit of pressure, but it's not too bad. What we're going to do is we're going to turtle up real quick, get some heals off. We're trying to snipe him as he peeks this other guy from the right side angle, but it doesn't look like it's going to be fruitful. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down and grab a moon rock. It's the last remaining moon rock inside of the circle, which is very fortunate. I checked for the moon rock before I dropped down, which was smart play on my behalf. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to quickly climb up this slope using some floors, and then we're going to push in towards him. So with these moon rocks, we take no fall damage, we move very quickly, and we jump very high, but we make a lot of noise. So what we want to do is we want to push while this guy's taking pressure. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and hit the shot. That one was quite wide. We hit him for 34. We're going to keep jumping in. Here our building is not going to quite stay with us, but it's okay because we hit the nice pump. So this guy's way up above us. He's trying to secure the high ground. It is unfortunate that we weren't able to knock down his building and fight him on the low ground, but what we decide to do is push up towards the high ground and then box in. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put ourselves inside of a box and then edit the ramp and then move up. So we're going to edit this ramp and then we're going to edit the floor, and that's going to pop us out, and we're going to move up. We're hearing him around us. We're trying to figure out what he's doing. What it turns out he's trying to do here is create a floor. So we can drone free cam this so that we have a better idea of what's going on. Give me 1 second. So if we drone free cam this very quickly, right? He's up above us and we're down below. So he's trying to get that high ground. He's trying to secure location. So as this replay progresses, what's going to happen is we're going to break his floor and we're going to put our own. He's going to break it immediately. We're going to hit him for 181 and clean him up. And that is the end of the replay. So that end game fight, the important thing was we waited for the first guy to get distracted. We entered into a team fight using the moon rocks for increased mobility. And then the last guy we turtled to gain the high ground, you know, put ourselves in a box, use some edits, and clean him up with a bump.